What nerdigans, this is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans Inc. and anime and manga contributor to Bounding into Comics. And ooh, the Chainsaw Man anime is in trouble. But before I get into this, let me just remind you to hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because of course this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored. If you love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be for live reactions like for Chainsaw Man, which we've been covering since chapter 1, and I like to keep doing that, but it's not looking good for us at the moment. Or news and analysis like this video, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below, as well as some of the sources we're going to be covering up in here. So, okay, I have to point this out. There seems to be a cultural disconnect going on here with the Japanese Chainsaw Man fans and the American Chainsaw Man fans. For the most part, the American Chainsaw Man fans, or I should say the Western Chainsaw Man fans, including the manga readers for some reason, or the majority of them, I should say the majority, because I don't know why it's the minority that feel this way. They love the anime. They do. If you do love it, that's good for you. I did not like it. I was not happy with it, because that did not feel like Chainsaw Man. For me, that art and animation belonged in a series that was more grounded in realism in terms of the art. And that to me was something like Vinland Saga. This was not a Chainsaw Man art style. No. The Japanese fans, from what I've been seeing, they feel the same way as me. And that really makes my life. I'm so happy that they do. We'll get to it in a second. But one of my anime industry insiders, who I think is slowly becoming one of my friends, who's a director at Aniplex, I've been talking to them for a minute, and I asked them about, what's going down with Chainsaw Man, because the Blu-ray sales are low. They're at like 1,700, 35 copies, and that is not good, because Blu-ray sales indicate whether a series is going to get a season 2 or not. And Mappa was 100% invested in this. And a lot of Japanese fans, from what I've been seeing, and besides the ones that were attacking Nakayama, and let's be real, based on, the toxic fandom over here and what I've seen with the Japanese fans, God, it makes me convinced this entire fandom worldwide is toxic. Oh, God. But if streaming numbers are not factored into the decision if a second season is going to get greenlit, then Chainsaw Man is in huge trouble. It is. It might not get a second season. It really might not. But I'm going to read this review first, and then I'm gonna read a couple reviews first, and then I gotta tell you what I showed the Aniplex director, because he was an anime only, and he liked Chainsaw Man anime. But once I showed him why the Chainsaw Man fans are probably pissed, oh, he understood. It was great. So this is what one of the Japanese fans was saying. The reputation of the quality of the animation is good, but not enough to buy, Blu-rays. I have the same impression. I'm a fan of the manga version and was looking forward to the anime, but compared to the manga version, the calm atmosphere certainly didn't seem to suit Chainsaw Man. Don't get me wrong, I think the anime is very good, and Chainsaw Man's anime reception is very good, but not to mention, Blu-rays are so expensive, which is why otakus pay for a work they really love, even if it looks like a weird taste to others. Yep, I do not see. We're on the same page here. Because Chainsaw Man, if Chainsaw Man would have had art and animation similar to like a Fooly Cooly or like a Cyberpunk Edge Runners, if it had that kind of art and animation, I would, or Kill la Kill. If you gave me that kind of art style, more so like, I kind of feel like Cyberpunk Edge Runners would be more appropriate than Kill la Kill, to be honest. But if you would have given, or Fully Cool, if you gave me one of those three, for example, I would have been down. I would have enjoyed it. I would have loved it. But the problem is, and when I covered the Mappa Industry panel, where they said they were going to take an abstract manga, they were going to take, in terms of art style, they were going to take that and adapt it into like realism and more like basically live action. I was like, oh, the fans are not going to be happy about that. There's no way fans of the manga, whether it be Western or Japanese, are going to be happy with this. No fucking way. And it turns out I was right. I knew I was going to be pissed, and I tried with this, trust me. But man, I'm glad that the Japanese fans and I are on the same page. Thank God. The fandom of the manga, of the Chainsaw Man manga, is already quite large. Probably close to half of the audience knows what's going to happen in the anime. That's why manga fans demand anime adaptations faithful to the original. Thank you! I get so much shit for this! And I feel seen! Thank God! People say that if a director wants to make an anime the way he likes it, he should do it with an original anime and not with an adaptation with an anime adaptation. That seems to be the point that has angered manga fans. Thank you! I feel fucking seen. This has been my goddamn point from the start. I keep trying to tell people this, and I get so much shit. This is the goddamn point. If you want to make, we don't want manga to anime interpretations. No, we want manga to anime adaptations. If you want to make your own fucking thing, go do it. We don't want that shit. This is why I hate Mappa for Kakiguri, because that motherfucker made an interpretation. No, we don't want that shit. No, give us a manga to anime adaptation. That's what we are here for. We want to see the manga that we love, the art we love, brought to life. And hell, make it look even better. Don't give us this shit with an interpretation. Nah. The only thing I will say, though, is it doesn't have to be exactly like in terms of writing work, like in the same order. If you can rearrange it and make it look even better and flow even better, like, Made in Abyss Season 2 attempted to do, fine, I'll be down with that, sure. You could do that, and just don't make it a clusterfuck. As I said, there are exceptions where it can work, but goddamn, don't do some fucking bullshit. That's why people are mad at Nakayama. I don't blame him for being mad at Nakayama. I knew Nakayama was going to be bad because he's a rookie. This was his debut. I was so confused on why have a rookie director make their debut on something as big as Chainsaw Man, but I just had a feeling that Mappa was trying to have a rookie so they can manipulate him. That was the whole fucking point. And I got shit about that too. I was like, dude, what the fuck do you want? They're manipulating him. They wanted to make sure that they could have a director that was easy to manipulate and have them be their puppet so they could do what they want. With no questions. No questions asked. That's what it seemed like to me. I wish my industry insider would freaking know more about that, but so I could get my theory confirmed. But I got a lot of other shit confirmed. I'll do a separate video on that. Trust me. Let's see. This is just what I felt based on net reactions and my own impressions of the anime. So I can't guarantee that it is completely accurate. Oh, here we go. I think the anime adaptation of Chainsaw Man, which is a well-known manga, had the opposite effect. Not only Chainsaw Man, but manga is read as a matter of course, in Japan. There are so many people who don't watch anime but read manga. So by the time the anime airs, people have already read the manga and know what's going to happen. So most people are talking less about the story and more about the sakugas, the voice actors, performances, and the quality of the scenes they were expecting to see. I guess it's just that manga fans are fans of manga, not yet that of anime fans. Japan, thank God. This makes so much sense too. This may sound strange, but I think if Chainsaw Man was a totally original anime, it would have sold more Blu-rays. You know what? I would agree with that. To an extent, I would agree. But you know what? I'm going to say this. See, this is why I wanted to cover this. They understand. This is how I feel as well. I don't know if anyone else feel. I think a lot of manga readers in the U.S. probably feel this way too. I'm more of a manga fan than I am an anime fan. It's been that way for a long time now for me, and that's why it's hard for me to watch new anime. But that's why I focus when I cover anime. I focus so much on the art and animation. Well, I also focus on the writing too. But like when they're saying that, this person is saying that they focus on the Sakuga, the voice actor's performance, the quality of the scenes they were expecting to see. That's how I do my anime live reactions. I focus on all that shit for a reason. And I'm glad this person pointed that shit out, because that's how I do my stuff. How I do my anime live reactions, and I get a lot of shit for it. God, thank God Japan gets me. Seriously. Let's see. Okay, so this is a good one. Someone asked this person, this Japanese person, this question. What is the general opinion towards the anime of Japanese who haven't read the manga? Do they feel that the anime isn't good enough for them to give the manga a try because caused the low increase in manga sale, or was the advertising not good enough to make more people watch it in the first place? I think this question right here is probably why a lot of people think that the anime was more marketed to, was more so made for the West and the global audience than Japan. I think there's enough the advertising rather too much. For example, 12 different ED collaborations with gacha games, etc. I'm a manga reader, so I don't know what people who haven't read the manga think exactly. Oh, I do though. I will tell you in a second. But sales of manga volume 12 and 13, which were released after the anime adaptation, were up significantly from the previous volume. So yeah, the manga is doing fine. So I'm sure the anime adaptation has increased the manga's fandom. Problem is that the fandom for Chainsaw Man's manga was already quite large before the anime adaptation, so there weren't many people who hadn't read the manga in the first place. And the more people, the more those people read the manga, the more they loved the manga. The more they complained about the anime version, the general opinion towards the anime of Japanese who haven't read the manga is that they don't understand why people complain about the anime quality. If I hadn't read the manga myself, I'd probably feel the same way. Yeah. But the thing is, for me, though, is if people complain about the anime quality, then that just makes me want to go read the manga. Let's see. And then there's another one as well here. From the Amazon Japan Blu-ray review. I don't think the atmosphere I wanted to create that creates meshes with the original story. Aki, God, thank God for this Reddit user, by the way. Aki is a character whose family is killed by a gun devil and lives every day exhausted by revenge, and yet you drink coffee like this, grinding it from beans, isn't it? It's weird, isn't it? Does it seem like they can afford that? I guess coffee in Japan is expensive. People who are afraid to die live that kind of life. What are the things I draw? What do those characters do, and why do they do that? This is a somewhat interesting translation, by the way. The screen clearly conveys how much it was drawn without understanding it. Things at that level were shown throughout the whole story. Made me feel sick. At the time of episode 1, I thought, but I kept watching that not all the works were decided in the first episode. But the sense of incongruity I felt grew bigger and bigger. Other people have said it, but there are many drawing pictures of battle scenes, and the background music lacks impressive. The ultimate is an adaptation of the original story for which you don't know the purpose. And looking at interview articles, etc., I have the impression that the film is completely swayed by the director's masturbation. What the fuck? You know what? I'm not surprised by this, to be honest. I'm not. In exchange for that, there was something wonderful where the voice actor and the artist who was in charge of the opening and ending felt love for the original. That I believe, based on articles I've read, they do the artists for the opening and ending songs for Chainsaw Man. They love the material. The pictures are realistic and very beautiful, but Chainsaw Man doesn't need that much reality. It's definitely not there in real life. There are many scenes that look ridiculous because the level of reality doesn't match. If reality is the most important thing, watch live action. Yes. I hope this makes things more clear for everyone as to why the Blu-ray sales are lower for Chainsaw Man. I already understood why it was but like this one here though, this blog post made it a little bit more clear, at least for me, in regards to Nakayama. But in terms of I know the masturbation comment sounded weird, but there was an interview I read like a long ass time ago, with Nakayama, and how Nakayama basically admitted that he wanted to do something with animation that was close to live action. And as soon as he said that, I don't remember where it was, but as soon as he said that, I was like, oh my god. But I do want to mention this before I get into this though. So, the Aniplex director that I told you guys about that I've been chatting with, he was an anime only for Chainsaw Man and he liked it. And he didn't understand why people were mad. Well, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this so he can understand. It's a lot easier to show than tell. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give you a panel from the colored edition of the Chainsaw Man manga. And then I will give you, a frame from the anime. And you can probably understand why the Japanese fans are pissed. And as soon as I said that, he responded, he's like, oh, I could see your point. Oh, it was so great. I was like, oh my god, see? My point keeps being made. You guys can like it all you want, but my point is made by the Japanese fans. You could go look up Akiyama, or why I say Akiyama? You could look up Nakayama's name, like if you put Nakayama's name in Japanese in Twitter search, oh, you will see it. You will see how many people are pissed about it. But this post here was great. That explained why the Japanese fans are pissed. Before the broadcast, there were high expectations for this work, saying the new director and new voice actors tags, which are the sole investment of MAPPA, are guaranteed to be animated. And let's put the power of a weekly ending. This work ended up being suggested with a high probability. Of course, the evaluation of the layer that writes opinions on the internet is not all, but I get the impression that is not as highly evaluated as Kimetsu no Yaiba and Jujutsu Kaisen. The main points that are described as subtle on the net are drawings of vow depictions, use of music, what is it? Lori of gags and characters restrained acting. In a word, it is an evaluation that the original mess is not enough. Personally, I didn't feel the drug-like pleasure, dude. AKA, didn't feel the massive acid trip that I saw in the cover of the first volume, which boldly used orange and green coloring in the official. See, this is what I mean by, like, if you would have given me, if Trigger would have done, oh god, if Trigger would have done Chainsaw Man, holy shit, this would have been so much better. Ugh. Shueisha, you fucked up on this one. That I saw in the green coloring in the official promotional video. In that sense, it was an unsatisfactory work. However, the subtle points of the anime version that are pointed out on the internet are basically directed as the director intended, as far as confirming multiple confirming multiple interviews. In other words, there is no choice but to conclude that there is a misunderstanding. There are some voices saying, I want you to remake it with a different director, and I want you to change the director for the second season. I don't think a second season, based on the sales right now, and I don't think a second season going to get made. There's no, unless you see Western fans start buying the Japanese Blu-rays, no way in fucking hell is second season going to get made. Let's see, but I guess it will be judged based on the overall results, such as future sales. So the director's color is strong and perception differences depending on the original author. Okay, so on the other hand, as animation production, the daily scenes such as Denji's power and Makima's breast massage scene, drinking party scene, bed scene with Himeno attempted, are highly evaluated. In particular, Aki's morning routine, which was inserted as an anime original scene, was highly acclaimed. It is often argued here that shouldn't the original work be used to show the director's color rather than the original work? Around here, there are overwhelming success cases like Hayao Miyazaki's Lupin III, the castle of Cagliostro, there we go. So it's not like that's right. So it's true that there are quite a few works that you can make you want to say, let's do it. There's a difference in the recognition of this area, even among the original authors. Monkey Punch's Mr. Monkey Punch of Lupin III is a tolerant type in that regard. Also, it is now a well-known story that Hajime Isayama, the author of Attack on Titan, asked the film critic Tomohiro Machiyama to write the screenplay for the live-action film version so that Mr. Machiyama's color would be stronger than the original is. I didn't know that! That's interesting! On the other hand, Mr. Yusei Matsui of Majin Detective Brain Biting Neuro, who had a signature campaign similar to this work in a dialogue between the representative of the signature campaign and the producer, was involved in the TV animation and live action of Assassination Classroom. When making a movie, he expressed his dissatisfaction with Neuro's animation. There seemed to be a type of that says, I want you to put your own work into animation as it is, and the type that says, do whatever you want with your using your own work depending on the author. Yeah. Matsui, if Elusive Samurai gets an anime adaptation, which it will, please follow Watsuki's cue and crack the whip. I am begging you, please do it. So what kind of so here we go. Let's see. It says here, what kind of conversation did you have with Mr. Fujimoto? This is what was said here in this interview. This is what Nakayama said. Mr. Fujimoto said, you can make whatever you like based on Chainsaw Man did. So Fujimoto, you can't be mad. I can't be too mad. Fujimoto said that Nakayama could make an interpretation. So Japanese fans, Fujimoto said that he could do an interpretation. You can vote with your wallet. You didn't like the interpretation. There you go. It's not an adaptation. It's an interpretation that Fujimoto said he could do. I'm just saying. I want to convey the charm of Mr. Fujimoto's work to many people rather than show my own color. So this is what Nakayama said, that he wanted to express Fujimoto's boundless high tension, all kinds of charm. Right! Give me a break. You didn't do that. Stop. You didn't express Fujimoto's color. No, you have muted colors. Give me a break. According to the director of this work, Ryu Nakayama, Mr. Tsuki Fujimoto gave an order to the animation production team. You can make whatever you like based on Chainsaw Man. I want to convey the charm of the original work to many people rather than showing colors, he said. But that's the whole point. That's part of Chainsaw Man's charm is the color. Like, no. If you want to, no. You're full of shit. Nakayama, you are just saying that you want to do whatever the fuck you want. That's what you are saying. That's why people are mad. I don't blame them for being mad. If you were saying this, that you want to convey the charm of the original work, the color is part of the charm of the original work. By getting rid of the color, you're draining the soul of the work. Yeah, I know manga is black and white, but part of the appeal of buying the manga, and also there's the color edition too, which is fucking amazing. But part of the appeal of the manga is the goddamn covers that are bright. And also that CGI made it look fucking heavy as hell. But again, I don't know if this was, part of it might have been Mappa's doing, but that interview with Nakayama just, I don't know. that I read was, I don't know. I feel like part of it, I feel like it's a 50-50 kind of situation. So this is kind of important too. Here's where there might be another disconnect here. By the way, Ryu Nakayama's favorite movie directors are Christopher Nolan and David Fincher. And I used to think you're really serious about what you're making, so I felt a certain sense of satisfaction. Perhaps Tatsuki Fujimoto's favorites are horror films such as Devil's Sacrifice, shark movies, and Quentin's films such as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is said to be the source of Look Back. Whoa, I didn't know that. Directed by Tarantino, Nolan and Tarantino are different in the same suit cool movie. This is not a matter of which is better or worse, but I feel that such a difference in taste is one of the true feelings of discomfort that the audience felt. I could see that. Because something that, happens in a lot of anime, and I feel like it kind of happened in Chainsaw Man, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, is that a lot of anime nowadays, and especially in terms of the art animation, it takes itself a little too seriously. And that's why when they were saying that they were going to go this direction of this realism direction, I was like, oh no. You're draining the personality now. In short, the B-class feeling was not enough. Some of the criticism here was, it wasn't very good and it wasn't funny, but it seemed that the screen was quite expensive. On the other hand, I feel that director Ryu Nakayama's Saki production is a perfect match for Ree's. Woo! God damn, I don't know how I feel about that. But there's another thread. This is the last thread I wanted to go through, because I think this is very important. An evaluation of Ryu Nakayama, the director of Chainsaw Man, I sometimes say if you don't want to make an anime, don't direct an animation, but I think that's slightly different. It wasn't because the director personally didn't want to make an anime, but because he decided that an anime like anime wouldn't suit Chainsaw Man. This I fucking agree with, because they decided that it would be more appropriate for some reason to go live action. I don't think it was. I think Chainsaw Man was just the victim of it. I think and if I remember correctly, I just don't remember the freaking publication off the top of my head. I wish I had it in front of me. That Ryu Nakayama was saying that he wanted to do an anime that was close to live action. And Chainsaw Man was his opportunity to do it. And I remember he did say on Twitter that he wanted to do an original anime, and he didn't have the opportunity to do it, so Chainsaw Man was it. I think he said, well, however, whether that method was suitable for Chainsaw Man is another story. Personally, I don't think it's a good fit, but I think it's very difficult. I wonder if the director lacked the reading comprehension, leadership, and planning skills necessary to realize it. I think, as I said, I think part of the problem is that he is a rookie director. Like, this was his first series, full series directing. He's directed episodes, but never a full series. So from here on, it's Mappa's trick, but it's a manga, so that's difficult to animate. So there's no production committee. Yeah, that was kind of the animation cost is ridiculous. And I did cover this before, that Dragon Ball, it was revealed that Dragon Ball Super Hero, that it was more expensive to animate and do an all CGI anime for Dragon Ball Super Hero than it was to do it in 2D. So go figure. So there's no production committee. The animation cost is ridiculous. 12 EDs are outsourced and tens of millions of advertisements. This is the newcomer director. It's too thoughtless to push. If you're going to do this for light people who watch anime as a communication tool, I'd like to support. I think light people. I think he means Americans. You can get it, but such a brain dead edition marketing has no effect on the geeks who analyze the work well, and only the director's ability is highlighted. He's talking about normies. And the original work is changed to the original believer. As a result, about 1,700 discs were sold. You're stupid. Even amateurs can see that you're clumsy. Dude, this story, I saw this story and I was dying. I was like, yes. The story of Chainsaw Man itself doesn't go well with the edition marketing, as does the realism the director chose. I kept telling people this, and I got a lot of shit. They were like, no, to Chainsaw Man is realism. I'm like, the fuck you talking about? You don't know what realism is, you fucking idiots. Seriously, if you want to know what kind of art is more based in realism, go read, or especially like illustrative realism, go read One Punch Man, go read Record of Ragnarok, and go read the Kengan series. Those series are more illustrative realism than Chainsaw Man is. This is abstract. The story of Chainsaw Man itself doesn't go well with the edition marketing, as does the realism the director chose. If you're going to do something about edition, it's important whether the contents of the manga, mainly the characters, will be received by girls, but the behavior of Himeno and Kobeni is clearly unpopular. So it's not about trying to get popular with women or light people, but rather understanding the strength of the manga's quirks and pursuing how much it will appeal to the subculture-inspired layer. Are you saying if you've read the saying if you've read the manga, you'll understand this? Mm-hmm. If I were to see such sloppy marketing as if I hadn't read the original, I would think that they weren't thinking about making money and making Chainsaw Man excited. Or Chainsaw Man exciting. It's very interesting, isn't it, that I remember Mappa was talking about being 100% in and talking about all this marketing and shit, but, like, a lot of the marketing notice how, like, in terms of the marketing, they were talking about how, like, there's all this gotcha and all this shit. Like, compare the marketing for Chainsaw Man to something like Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen. It wasn't as messy. No, the marketing was a lot more organized. And you have to wonder if having an animation committee was more beneficial. It has to be more beneficial to have an animation committee. This was very disorganized. But I told you guys, I kept telling you, these people were trying to sell to the lowest common denominator. And a lot of people were questioning on Japanese Twitter if this manga or if this anime was being more so made and catered to the global audience than it was to the Japanese audience. And based on the review of what they were saying that, and this is really goddamn true, that Japan is more manga based than anime based. They don't care about anime as much as they care about manga. To me, it seems like they were more, and especially based on the interview that I saw not too long ago where Mappa was talking about going global, I think they were more focused on the global audience, and that is a huge mistake. That was a huge mistake, and it's going to be their downfall. They're going to lose money on this, especially if streaming is not a factor. If streaming is not a factor, like, my insider was telling me, like, Aniplex director was telling me, then you're fucked, Mappa. You are fucked. Chainsaw Man, it really does seem like Chainsaw Man is in trouble. It does. It seems like unless Blu-ray sales improve, it's not going to happen. A second season is in doubt. I know you guys people are like, oh no, Japan doesn't like what we like. Motherfucker, it's a different culture. It is. And you know what? Based on, it's crazy how I'm on the same, a lot of people look at me like, dude, Packer Girl, you're on the same page as Japan. That's weird. It's like, dude, I read the manga. I keep thinking to myself, damn, Chainsaw Man manga becoming mainstream was such a fucking mistake. I swear to God. But I've been covering this manga since it was started its serialization in 2017. I love this manga. And it's going to be the same. I know for a fact it will be the same thing with, I'm telling you right now, we're going to see the same thing with Hell's Paradise Yuga Karaku. Because Hell's Paradise Yuga Karaku does not look like Kaku's art. I've already gotten shit for calling it out. That art looks terrible. It looks like a generic fantasy shonen series. It is not Hell's Paradise Yuga Karaku. That is not Kaku's art. No fucking way. It is not Kaku's art. Just like this, I will say this to be fair, at least the character designs looked accurate. But the color palette, the art style, that was not Chainsaw Man. Fujimoto may have just said, do what you want, but dude, Fujimoto was not in the room with them. There was no way Fujimoto, you could tell me all you want that Fujimoto was in the room with them. There's no way Fujimoto was in the room with them. No fucking way. Fujimoto just told him to do whatever he wanted. Fujimoto is just a goddamn troll. I swear to fucking God. I think the only thing that I will say that Fujimoto probably did, because is maybe like be a part of the voice casting or maybe some of the storyboards, but the art animation he was not. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below what you guys think. Do you guys think that based on the Blu-ray sales right now that Chainsaw Man Season 2 is not going to happen? It really seems like it to me. And what do you guys think of the Japanese opinion? I'm with them on this. I am. And based on the interviews I've seen, I really think that Nakayama just did this because he was given it. And he was going to do it the way he wanted to do it. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so I can keep bringing you more Chainsaw Man content. A few ways you could do that. Donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off that Amazon wish list. Oh, it's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.